If they don't, what they as well, CSA not so much.
CSA too.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's get into the casters with none other than Reflections in John Allen. Which region has surprised you guys?
Hey, what's going on? PMWC hopping into day number 3, the final chance, the final dance for teams to move directly into the finals, right? And for the others, well, they've got to go to the survival stage. Green and red go against each other as yellow group finished yesterday, so you know they're waiting on bated breath, hoping and praying they do not get passed up if they're in top 8. But John, it's going to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, the desk was talking about regions that have come out surprising us. I mean, I feel like just Alter Ego alone are bringing the surprise from that SEA region. Coming into today, they have a head and shoulders lead over everybody else. The question is maintenance. The question is consistency. Can they carry on that path? Will they be able to maintain their course? Coming on into our first match of the day, of course, it's Sandhawk as the stage rises to meet us. We're heading over to the jungle.
That's it. We're going to the jungle for the first time, mind you, at least during PMWC for ourselves. It's going to be a wonderful thing. I love Sandhawk personally. It's an aggressive map. It's small. It's chaotic. Third parties galore. So I'm so ecstatic that we're hopping into it. As far as regions go, Americas, honestly, for me, has surprised me more so for Alpha 7. Again, during the American season, they just weren't performing as well as I needed them to perform. I really thought they were a bit lackadaisical. They were going to come into this tournament and kind of fall a bit flat, not necessarily be like just drop the ball completely. But I thought they weren't going to be as dominant as they were, at least on day 1. So now that they return to the stage, super excited to see what they're going to be made of, especially because the fact that Revo, you know, Revo was incredible on day 1, but he wasn't outdoing others such as like Mafioso, right, who is typically not the stat leader on this roster. But Revo, if he could become the stat leader again with Mafioso, Carrillo, and Squash already performing as well as they are, Alpha 7 could be unstoppable, and they're going to have to be to catch up to Alter Ego.
It is going to be a long path that they would want to tread to be able to get up and keep pace. We're looking out for hot drops as well. I think it's this Northwest Island that's going to pop up first, though. On the top of the mountain, Thunder Talk and Alter Ego. Rosemary, though, has been cut down in a 1-for-1 trade. They still have more to do. Rosemary still, maybe? No, he's not going to get rest, but will they find the trade around the corner? Krypton hits the deck, and now they have to rely on the rest of the roster to pull this one back under control. Everyone wielding weaponry here on the top of the mountain. The spray down, though, the reload necessary, but he doesn't clock it in time. Doesn't manage to slide that mag on through, and it is Alter Ego going down clean in a first engagement. Can they keep up the pace? A resounding no.
Man, game 1 starting like that after a heroic day 1, or day 2, excuse me, and day 1 ultimately for Alter Egos is tough. It really is. Luckily, they're doing just fine in the points category. They can let one map go and then come back even stronger in the 5 remaining that they have. I still fully expect them to qualify in top 8, but yeah, early on, getting the ego out of the way, Thunder Talk says, we'll take the fight to you in the early engagement. This is our area to the right of Camp Alpha, and they dominate the fight. I believe not even losing one, excuse me. I think there was one down, but they get them back onto the feet. That is a dominating win. And Thunder Talk, for example, by the way, super surprising performance. The fact that they're up there now in top 3, at least in our current standings, but not overall, you gotta give them respect. They came into the tournament. We had a lot of questions about them. We knew they were a great team, but we didn't know they were going to be doing as well as they currently are. So for Thunder Talk, beautifully done.
Brilliant stuff. I mean, those early hot drop scenarios, right? They are a little bit more chaotic. There is a little bit more of a window of opportunity to play the variance, right? To have the outside chance, low armor, that sort of thing can really come into play quite impactfully in those early engagements, especially when you're all dropping on that high ground mountain on the Northwest Island. And yeah, it's just not going to go Alter Ego's way this time around. They will try and push further. We spoke a lot yesterday about the bubble. We're still seeing it probably going to fall around that 80-point boundary. And of course, Alter Ego at 78, very, very close to that already. And we're still expecting that to be the case. The question is, where can everybody else go? Out of this set of 16 teams, we're expecting between 4 and 5 of them to be able to make it in through towards the top 8 of the bracket. It seemed like a fairly solid lock that 4 Thrives are going to make it on 111 points, a massive lead at the top. And then you've got a lot in the mid-80s, a couple in the mid-80s there. So if we get 5 teams out of this set of 16 into the top 8, that would be what we're expecting. So if we took the top 5 teams right now, that would be down to Wec Bgmi.
Wec Bgmi. Waiting for them to obviously make their way up the standings. A talented roster up in the north side of the map currently have to work their way down towards the south, maybe opposite of R8, IG. Maybe they get into a bit of a scrappy fight. Curious if IG will rotate down to the south towards boot camp to kind of establish that, be the edge keeper team. Most likely going to have to continue to go a bit further south, but in the meantime, keeping R8 in check off of the distance, just on the outside of Paradise. For AXTMG, another roster that I feel like has had a lot of great moments, and they have shined bright at times, but they have fallen a bit short. That's another roster that needs to step it up tremendously. After all, only 6 more games remain for them, and let's not be forgetting Falcons either, right? Falcons, a team, the crowd favorite, who came in second place in game number 2, Erangel, day number 1. I saw great promise for them, but for them only to slow down. So for Falcons on the southern portion of the map, a bit split. Hopefully they get back together because they've got APG, Gamex around them. They're going to have to fight, probably not now, but at least soon enough.
I like APG's split as well in the center. This 2-2 controlling the compound down the hill as well as that high ground scout tower. It is really powerful, but it looks like the Falcons are going to try and challenge on that south point, so potentially a bit of an upset for the APG position. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a regroup as they try and keep that one together. Nongshim rolling on in as well, trying to make their way through, and it's just going, it's going pretty well. Power had taken a lot of casualties earlier around that ruins location. Not going to be too much to do. APG do in fact regroup here as the Falcons try and get to the top of the hill. A beautiful nade though. Looks like it may be able to even the odds.
Ralph has to do something though. Like you said, even the odds. Got a flying card. This is a perfect opportunity to send some shots flying from up top, keeping Ralph's head down low. It's a perfect opportunity to push, but Top's got a nade and he's willing to throw it, and Ralph is missed. Top now full send, DPS in hand, and Ralph will fall. And beautiful shots on Redox just below. An unfortunate set of circumstances for Falcons, but make no mistake about it, APG also taking some hits.
Where are those shots even coming from? I think that might be from, is that from Redox down the hill? Is he still going?
I think he has to be.
I think he might be. Could be Nongshim coming in on this west side. You've also got Gamax out on this east edge, but for now, they are still all alive. It is only Redox for the Falcons. That is really nasty going for them. I mean, he's a powerful player. The guy's got some style, but against 4, against Alpha Gaming, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it's going to be tough without question. Alpha Gaming getting some much needed points. Luckily, they get all their teammates back up into play. They had a player down on the tower just up ahead, but now they're going in to finish off the Falcons, to finish off Redox, but it's not going to be that easy. Redox putting out some tremendous damage, and he's looking to take on the full force. Meanwhile, Zyle is also down. Nade's thrown at his feet, but it's got a couple of seconds. He times it properly to push forward with the DPS, but misses the critical shots. APG take the Falcons down.
It was a nice read at the start of that one from Redox to be able to hold his nerve around the corner. He heard the pin pulled, he saw the nade come through, he knew that's not going to be a problem for me. I'm going to be pushing through anyway after my nade. He already had that advantage on the tempo. It's just unfortunate that he didn't connect with that nade too well. He didn't connect with his shotgun shells. It could have been a different story. It was a lone player on the inside, but it does mean, again, APG, Alpha Gaming, stay alive. Our next circle shift is going to go a little bit down to the south, but it does keep that northern shoreline up and into the game. However, it's very treacherous to play there. You've essentially got the hilltop over Painan and not too many other places that you're going to feel super comfortable. Maybe over towards Cave.
Fajita from Gamex, I need him to join his roster. You notice Alpha 7 might be splitting the difference in between them. That's going to leave him isolated, maybe Arthur, but I do notice that they start to take some vehicles and rotate down. Alpha 7, opposite of them, that's going to be scary because let's face it, for Gamex, they did not have a great day 2. They only, out of 6 games, they managed to secure 5 points. If Alpha 7 sees Gamex, they're going to see a weaker team. They're going to want to push that and get some much needed, and in their mind, easy points. Now, granted, Gamex a phenomenal team, but Alpha 7, again, they're sharks and they want to eat it from the horse. So unfortunate, man. What did he do to you?
That was a replay of the knock that Nongshim were able to find over near the ruins, and Ida lost a player because of it. This is this engagement you were talking about. Alpha 7 went for a swim. I know it's hot here in Riyadh, but it is still quite risky to go for these swims as Alpha 7 do manage to make landfall. And more than that, they're landing lead down towards Gamax. Find a second knock as well. An answer with a DBS at range, but there is nobody else to try and pick up the pieces here. They are not close enough by. They were not regrouped, and Gamax are going to fumble.
You have a Gamax member who's going to be on the bridge just up to the north, right? He all by himself, and Mafioso sniffs this out, and he's going to go ahead and go for a push. You can tell Alpha 7 does not respect Gamax in this situation. The way that Reba pushed up that hill, he pushed up without a care in the world. He was willing to even take a ton of damage because he felt super confident in his ability to get the win. Gamax not only getting taken down from Alpha 7, but naturally as they move up, they run into Kinotrop, who's unfortunately, they also get taken down. Another bad game. Corona, the only thing he can do is try and stay alive.
I give it. Okay, he's in a pretty solid spot in terms of having not too many players nearby him, but I still only give it maybe 45 seconds.
Dang, 45.
I'm giving him 45 seconds.
Okay.
I think he's getting spotted. APG could be there. Okay, no, he's found some buildings.
Okay.
He's drastically extended his life expectancy.
He's got 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
No, he's got to. Either way, he just got to stay alive. I mean, come on, get a point. You know, Gamax struggling so much. Survival stage most likely in the future, but it's still early goings. 5 more games to go, and maybe they can pull off a miracle run. After all, we kind of witnessed it just yesterday with Alter Ego's Eris performing as well as they were. Weibo getting into a bit of a scuffle. IG pushing up confidently. He is down. And intense game. Another roster coming out from the Americas region. Actually, the champions from the Americas region looking to take this entire thing. I feel like they underperformed in their performance yesterday, but today they're looking to be the top dogs.
Well, hopefully they can find more on this game. They have managed to find that first pickup. This is over on the north side, so have not crossed the river. Of course, it isn't fully guaranteed that the circle will end up on the South Island, although the majority of our teams think it may well do. Otter, one of those teams, but they're right up into the river, holding that crossing, and R8, they're knocking at the door. Unfortunately, they're not being let in. It's certainly not a friendly atmosphere in the neighborhood.
No, not at all. You wouldn't expect it to be anyways during PMWC. So for R8, where do you think they go? I mean, rotate down to the bridge. Let's see where zone shifts. So R8's actually okay for the moment. I'm surprised it didn't shift more towards the side of, obviously, the south where the majority of the teams are. But you do have to start making a decision. And if I'm R8, if I'm Weibo, if I'm IG, I do want to start getting over towards the mainland, towards the main portion of the map where the current teams are. But it's quite congested.
I'm looking at where AXTMG are right now. We saw APG were up on that high ground before. They had that massive overlook. They had to regroup up there, and that has allowed a team to move into that compound, and that is where AXTMG currently sit. So beneath a massive hill, central on that compound, a potential path in towards Painan, those rocks that sit to the north of them. I think AXTMG right now have one of the best spots in the lobby. The 2-2 split that they have, they can hold this for a little bit longer with APG being those guard dogs on the south edge.
Say God dogs, but also Alpha 7 on the edge themselves, right? The edge team, they love to do this, and well, they've got Kinotrop just in front of them, and not really a lot of coverage, but at the moment they're okay. But when they do start to break in, I gotta assume Kinotrop is going to take a couple of shots. If they want to go to the left, well, you got Ida, you got APG's going to take some shots. So here it is, Kinotrop looking, eyes peeled, head on a swivel. All 4 members from Alpha 7 up ahead.
They don't want to flow out. They don't want to give this position away. He's being reserved with these peaks, and rightly so. The most south point of this hold. It's difficult to get the regroup here, but it looks like they're going to bolster. Ida potentially moving in behind this push for Alpha 7, so third parties could be dangerous.
Oh, here we go. Alpha 7 moves up. Kirill stays alive miraculously. Are you kidding me? Kinotrop loses one. Tamara's down. An amazing set of circuits.